I suppose I should probably come clean with you going into this one, shouldn't I? I was planning to return up to 2 games ago and gloat about how my tactical genius knows no bounds, though unfortunately we did take a humbling in a West London derby in our last Premier League game. We've bounced back in the FA Cup, but overall we've changed our shape and things are starting to look up. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 5 of this FM09 Let's Retro save with Fulham as we return at the start of the January transfer window for a couple of big games in the Premier League. If we can get results against Sunderland and or Stoke, it will probably lead us pretty comfortably from the relegation zone, although we've already managed to push away into 10th place thanks to a tactical decision that has made huge sense and done a huge favour to our team, particularly what was a fairly brittle defence. So if you're looking forward to seeing what we've done and who we're potentially adding to the squad this month, then please do put a thumbs up on the video, because my priority at this stage of the year is to try and get some good squad players pre-agreed as free agents so we can try and reduce the amount we have to spend next summer to make our squad stronger. There's a bit of interest coming in a few of our players in the first team squad. If I show you it at the moment, all of the back five are wanted. Of course, we're not going to sell Breda Hangeland. Schwarzer, it would take a big offer, but 1.6 million for a 36-year-old, I could be tempted if we secure our safety early. For the likes of Konchesky, Hughes, Pansil, Davis, Murphy, Baird, and then even Callio further down, if we get offers, if we get something appropriate, I'm all ears. I'm willing to listen. So there is potentially a few outs depending on the offers we get this January. It's just about whether we get enough for each player that we can then afford to replace them with the transfer budget it gives us. What we do want to do, though, is prepare for the summer, because we know we've not got a backup left back at the minute. We know that Zuba Bula's going to be moving on. We know Julian Gray's going to be moving on. There's a few people out of contract who aren't going to be staying. Decourt and Barnes will be leaving after their loans. Acuna's going to be a free agent as well. So there's going to be some voids in the squad, and I'm trying to fill them. Let me show you what we've been trying to do this month, because we've got one agreed subject to a work permit and one or two others that we're close to or have got on the radar. So you can see, despite the interest in number of our players, the only ones we've had offers for so far are an inquiry for Skelbred and an offer from Liverpool for Hangeland. I'm not willing to sell him. He's a man we're building around. However, any of the others I will listen to. If it is for a work permit, though, we will be adding a new backup left back next year. Might even end up being first choice, who knows? Because Timothy Atuba has agreed a deal to join at the end of the season. We're just waiting for the permit to be given. He's currently over in the Bundesliga doing all right. He's a solid pro, and on a free agent deal with a slight wage reduction, that'd be absolutely fantastic for us. We're also trying to get Sebastian Vieira, a free agent goalkeeper from Villarreal, who is much better than Zuba Bula, not far off Schwarzer, and at 25 on about 10 grand a week, could be an exceptional backup for us to get. We've also shortlisted Ali Al-Habsi. We can't obviously discuss with English players this close, changed somewhere between FM06 and 09, but at this point we can't discuss with him till a month to go. So Ali Al-Habsi is someone we may look at as well, to have two free agent goalkeepers coming in. There are lots of loan players you can see there. Most of them are ones who were either in the youth team or were out on loan the first half of the year. If I show you the deals that have been done, a few of them have extended. So Smalling has rejected an extension, but Stockdale, Omazusi, and I think Milson have all agreed to stay at theirs. Maybe Laribi as well. And then Alex Smith and Courtney Harris have taken loan deals from the under-18s to move on. So the opportunity for people to go out is good. Hopefully get a little bit of football and improve, and maybe get us a sell-on fee for the next year. I don't know. In Omazusi's case, I would expect him to come back and be a part of the backup squad. That means that we've got no money to work with for now, but hopefully later in the month we will. Our budget at the moment is 0. We've got 32 grand of the wage budget remaining, but that will basically be the goalkeeper and a tuber if we agree those deals. So then we'll have to sell before we can buy again. I've shortlisted the likes of Gorlitz and Barragan, two right backs who will be free agents in the summer. Don't want to discuss terms yet. I'm looking at Schneiderlin, who's playing in the Championship with Southampton. Great young player in these games. And I've also kept an eye on the likes of McMahon and O'Brien, again for squad depth, both free agents at the end of this season. So lots of players that could be coming in, but for now, we've got to work with what we've got. And if we have a look at how it's been going pretty well. Let's start by discussing the tactical change, which you probably got a glimpse of on the other screen from the positions. I've done something I've been sort of teasing with the idea of for a while now. Not sure why I've set this up wrong when rotating the squad. I've gone to the more defensive 4-3-3. I've just sort of sat Sissoko in front of the back four to make sure we've got a solid base, because I found that teams were playing midfielders making forward runs and we just couldn't cope. So the idea is Sissoko sits in there, and it's made us so much more solid defensively for the most part. And at home, we've actually looked a really good side. You saw us do it on the opening day of the season at home to Chelsea, and it's sort of the catalyst in the second half for us winning that game. And it's certainly helped us against some of the bigger sides, maybe even more so than the rest in recent weeks. In terms of the rest of the team, we've kept the core in a sort of balanced midfield role. And then Danny Murphy has been a bit of a revelation in recent weeks. But whoever plays there is then being the driving midfielder. Then it just leaves the two wingers who can be more aggressive with Andy Johnson up front. And we've sort of given up on the number 10, which we just couldn't get performing anyway. So it does mean that the likes of Giles Barnes will definitely not stay now. But it also means that we've got a bit more of a solid base. We're conceding less goals. And we're starting to look a threat. If I show you the fixtures since you were last with me, ironically, the only two games that we've won were against two of the best sides in the division, with them being frustrated to draws at times. But you can see 3 clean sheets. Okay, one was against a League 2 team, and a slightly better bit of form all round. So the first game we went to the 4-3-3 was Manchester City at home. A 2-1 victory thanks to Andy Johnson and Zoltan Gera. But you can see from the roles here, yes, it makes a huge difference that Musa Sissoko was back, and then the next week Decor was back. But still, it was a really strong performance. And you can see from the match ratings that Danny Murphy got an 8, Zoltan Gera got an 8. This really helped those midfield performers. And 2 players delivered the goals for us there, as Luton fan Stuart Atwell doing me a favour from the middle of the pitch. Against Arsenal, we only lost by 1-0, which away from home I take as a bit of a success. They're doing brilliantly at the minute. Everyone played okay, we just couldn't get the result. Against Liverpool at home, probably performance of the season. A 2-0 victory, Hangeland with a set piece, Danny Murphy scoring one against his former club as well. Again, a brilliant performance from him, Zoltan Gera, and this time Ryan Albin in midfield. And it was the first time in ages, really. If you go to the Arsenal game, we were still playing with Dixon Atuhu in midfield. Against Liverpool, it was the 3 we wanted. Sissoko, Decor and Murphy made a big difference. And once we can add Skelbred back into that, I think we might be on to a winner. Against West Brom, a bit more of a frustrating day, a 0-0 draw away from home. But again, a decent performance. Andy Johnson missed a couple of chances, but defensively, we looked under no threat at all. Then it all went wrong against Chelsea, but one game too far, only 5 days between the matches. And in truth, a few of them physically I probably shouldn't have played and did. And Chelsea were just too good. They got revenge for the opening day of the season. We did bounce back with a very rotated side against League 2 Aldershot in the FA Cup. Frederick Storr got his first goal for the club. Zoltan Gera scored one as well. And you can see from the team that we played, it is almost full rotation. Acuna, Matthew Briggs from the reserves got a game. Giles Barnes made his first start. It was really rotated and we still managed to do the job. Now, though, we've got 2 games in 3 days, which will be a test of the squad. Let's start, though, with the Sunderland match, because for now, we focus on the squad we've got. Sunderland, I'm not sure who they played in the cup. Did they go first choice? Oh, they had Scunthorpe at home, so similar situation for them. They're 14th in the league. They've got a couple of injuries. Kenwyne Jones, a big one from our point of view. And if we go and have a look at the league table, we're in 10th on 26 points. Looks very healthy with the gap to the relegation zone. I just want to get safe as quick as possible. Then we can start looking at future players. Then we can start looking at moving people on. If we can get close to that 40-point mark, or even above 30 by the end of January, does mean we can accept a big offer for someone, even if we can't find an instant replacement. So these games against the teams in 14th and 16th, who can close the gap to 3 and 6 points respectively, that can make a big difference. So let's go and see how we do. Basically, after 9th, the league cuts off. There's a massive gap to the top 8. So we're just focusing on mid-table mediocrity, and maybe a chance to prioritise the FA Cup. Let's go and look at our team for today. It's a pretty strong one, I would say, in fairness. We've got our first choice back 5 back, and bar Skelbred is probably the 11 I'd pick. It's Mark Schwarzer in goal with Konchesky and Pansil the fullbacks, Hangeland and Hughes in the middle. Sissoko is the base of that midfield three with Murphy and Decourt in front. And in the front three of Simon Davis, who returns after injury, Albin and Andy Johnson. Zoltan Gierak can maybe feel a little hard done by. Of course, we've had the likes of Clint Dempsey involved, but he's just not performed that well. And Bobby Zamora, after that positive start, is starting to drift. So I don't think we'll see much more of him. Into the first game at home to Sunderland, with the next game in 3 days on the road, could probably do with getting the job done early here. Well, 4-4-2 for Sunderland, which will put pressure on us at the back, particularly given they've got Djibril Cissé up front and then Malbronk and Andy Reid out wide with bundles of ability. But they are a little slower at the back with Tal Ben Haim. He is joined though by Anton Ferdinand, another hero from our FM06 save, who's a pretty quick and strong defender. At the moment though, I'd fancy us to try and get in behind them at fullback, and I'd fancy us to try and dominate the middle. Whether we can do it or not, very different question. We have had that little bit of dominance in the midfield areas. I'm hoping we can take advantage today. So let's tell the boys they can win the game, get into the first half. Hopefully it'll be a slightly quieter one because the last episode we saw plenty of action. Well, a quiet first 10 minutes, but we are back with Sunderland in possession. Otaño has lost it to Andy Johnson, who can start the counter. Albin supporting him from the left, and you can see Murphy making that run in the middle. Albin goes wide, glides past Bardsley, gets to the byline. The fullback recovers to an extent, but Tal Ben Haim there to clear. It's out for a throw, but the first sign of what we're capable of on the counter-attack. We can really hit them at speed there. Well, 20 minutes gone. It's been a quiet game so far. No shots on target for either side. And Schwarzer hits one straight through to Craig Gordon there. Got to say, Sunderland have got a couple of very good young players in that team. And Craig Gordon in goal being one of them, as Aaron Hughes heads clear. Ferdinand beats Johnson, but Danny Murphy's in, and Olivier Decourt will bring it down. Finds Pansil at right back. Can we find the ball down the line? Goes for Davis, who I think's played onside by Tal Ben Haim. Davis beats the fullbacks, got the chance to cross to the byline against his Welsh international teammate. And Danny Collins, to be fair, does well. Pansil will have the throw-in. Can we create a clear-cut chance? Because we are having the better of this game. As Ben Haim heads away again. It's a field day for him if we just put crosses in the box. Could really do with getting in behind for Andy Johnson, but they're defending deep. They know what the game is and they're trying to stop the danger. As they've got their own throw now, they're yet to have a shot. But will it go wrong for us when it matters? Because Sissoko misses his header there. But Bangura puts it wide. 25 gone. It's low quality so far, let's be honest. We're just approaching the half an hour mark as Pansil throws into Davis. And that is a wayward switch of play. Thankfully though, Konchesky under no pressure can go and retrieve it. Sissoko to Hughes on halfway, over the top towards Davis. Headed away as far as John Pansil. Gets there before Andy Reid, and Davis finds Danny Murphy. His shot's over the bar. Under pressure from Ledbetter. Just panicked a little. We're missing that guile of Skelbred in there, but we're doing okay. Let's be fair. Now who's injured? Because it just paused and said it was caused by Cissé's challenge. I've not seen anyone majorly drop off. I think we might be all right for now, as Ben Haim wins a header yet again. Bangura able to go wide. Malbronk has dragged Konchesky out of position. And now he's got space to run. And that's not where we want Breda Hangeland isolated. Cross goes in. To be fair, Sissoko does well. And that's the benefit now. Where Hangeland's been dragged out, Moussa Sissoko can just go and sit in. Almost as the extra central defender. And it's really enabled us to prevent those goals with balls coming into the box on the counter. The corner's poor. We've been the better side. But better is stretching it in a game this poor. On the stroke of half time though, I would absolutely love to nick a goal, as Konchesky gets it from Albin and finds Moussa Sissoko. Konchesky goes 50 yards back to Schwarzer. I'm not saying there's a lack of ambition in this team, but it's not the most aggressive, is it? Sissoko wins the ball for Danny Murphy in midfield. Out wide to Albin with a good firing pass. To the byline he goes, beats Bardsley, gets support, delivers the cross towards Murphy, who brings it down, has support alongside, forces the save with a shot. And Ben Haim there on the rebound to put it behind. Had a pretty good game so far. But that's a decent chance that for us. And we are having all of the work at the goalkeeper. As Hangeland loses that header. It's out to Simon Davis. Albin on the left can cross again. There's still a few up there. Albin to the byline. Back to Moussa Sissoko who shoots. It's pretty easy for Gordon. But a few shots on target. We're testing the keeper. And to be fair, we've been the better side, without really taking the game by the scruff of the neck. So let's keep saying we can win it. Again, if we keep picking up points, it's solid enough. Andy Johnson not getting the space though. And maybe that's why we do better against the bigger sides, because they're playing higher lines. They're being more attacking against us. And then Johnson can get in over the top. Whereas here, we're not able to do that as Danny Murphy wins it back for Sissoko, who does look over the top. It's Albin v Bardsley, but Ferdinand's on the cover. And he gets back to Craig Gordon. Out to Tal Ben Haim. Big ball downfield. Angelan should deal with it, though Konchesky has to. And Albin's able to bring possession up for Andy Johnson. Davis making a run on the right. Was he onside? He's up against Danny Collins. Beats him. Shots over the bar, though. Just lacking that out-and-out pace to get in behind. We're 10 gone in the second half. We'll look at subs shortly because Danny Murphy actually having a rare poor game. What is that? Schwarzer plays a long goal kick and Sissoko tries to do a 1-2 with him. Stupidity. Ferdinand over the top. It might put us in trouble. Angelan wins the first challenge. Cisse's on it. It's a good save from Schwarzer. Not sure I'm a fan of that back pass from Sissoko. Well, we'll see out this Sunderland corner as they've taken Steve Malbronk, but no, Tal Ben Haim's in there. Not sure why Danny Murphy's marking him. But we get away with it. Schwarzer saves the day. Looks like we've changed men now. It's going to be a bit more of a sensible marking scheme. There's a ball into the back post. Konchesky up and Ferdinand. We're 1-0 down from a set piece. In a game we've been better. First ever goal for Sunderland. We're struggling more against the bottom sides, and I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to take Danny Murphy off for Zoltan Gira, who's been so influential in recent weeks. Simon Davis hasn't had the best game either, so we might go for Clint Dempsey there. I've got to leave Andy Johnson on needing a goal. I don't actually know what else improves us. I'm going to leave it another 5 minutes and then maybe take the core off just to save him for the weekend, because if we lose this, we're then going to need to win the Stoke game. But it's frustrating because we have been the better team here. We've not created anything really clear-cut, and that is the one source of disappointment so far. 20 minutes to go. We've got a free kick on the right as Albin plays short to Pansil. If he plays it down the line again, which he doesn't, Albin was in unmarked. He's going to get it eventually, though. Good touch. Back to Gira. Chance to get there. Challenge from Pena, but it's into Decor. And he's offside. Thought he was in one-on-one there. I'm going to take him off now as well. Olivier Decor is going to be replaced by Dixon Atuhu. Fresh legs, plenty of pace, and plenty of muscle in that midfield. Hopefully can get from box to box. Sunderland now levelling up the stats though, and we're starting to go a little wrong. 10 minutes remaining. I'm a bit concerned. I'm going to start sending the fullbacks forward, try and be a little more aggressive. Not going to go mad because we've generally conceded when we've done that. We'll go more attacking like such. We'll allow Atuhu to make more forward runs, and we'll also get Konchesky doing exactly the same, and Johnny Pansil as well, which will hopefully enable us to get a little bit more aggressive. We'll up his mentality. We'll allow them off the leash a little bit to go forward in this one. And we'll just hope that it works out near the end. Might even do with Sissoko rather than no forward runs. Allow him to go a little bit if he wants to. Let's see what it does. 10 minutes remaining. Can we find an equaliser as we did against Hull in the last episode? But this one, if you lose it to a set piece, you've got to be furious. And we've still seen it. I talk about the tactical change going well, but when we played the bottom side, West Brom, we were unable to break them down. Dempsey's offside again. He's one of my prime candidates to sell. He's been awful this season. Really struggled to get going. But it's just that lack of threat against these sides. How do we break them down when Andy Johnson can't run in behind? We've not got alternatives. Bar Zamora, who hasn't offered a lot in the last 2 months. As Konchesky gets it from Hangeland, finds Sissoko. Now he can be aggressive with Albin. Konchesky's looking to overlap, but Albin's beating his man. Cross towards Gira. Wins the flick, just wide. That extra man in the box is helping, but it's another big chance that goes begging. I mean, we've had enough to get something out of this game. We can't complain. Not clinical enough in front of goal. And now Sunderland have the chance with us committing men forward to get in behind. And you don't want to give Andy Reid time like this. Good ball in. Schwarzer misses it. What are you doing? I mean, this is the problem with chasing the game. Anytime we go more aggressive, we get caught out. We're just not good enough at the back to cope with it. Schwarzer this time making the individual error. And I think now we're going to have to accept that maybe the big games are the ones we get the points because we can just sit back and hit on the counter A disappointing result, not the worst performance in truth. Konchesky lost his man for the second goal. I don't know. I'm going to say I'm disappointed. I hope we get a reaction on Saturday because Stoke City are our next opponents. We have our first confirmed signing for Season 2 because Timothy Atuba has received his work permit and will be joining the club on a 2-year deal on the 1st of July. A very solid player, will hopefully help us out a little bit. And at the very worst, will be a backup in a position we haven't got one for now. And when you saw Konchesky's performance at the midweek, that might not be a bad thing. So he comes in. Ironically, the report did mention for the match that we'll be wondering what might have been after that one because how on earth they won it, we don't know. The Black Cat struck lucky. And now Simon Davis, seemingly wanted by Everton. I'll keep you posted on that one. Well, no luck with the other signing because Vieira is staying at Villarreal. That will leave us with Al Habsi as a new backup and then either Schwarzer or someone else as first choice next year. Everton come in for Konchesky. They've offered $5.5 million. Most of it's not up front though, which is a problem for me. So I'm going to go and have a look and see what left backs are in the market after this and then maybe accept it depending on what I can find because we have been linked with a couple. But Konchesky's probably our second best defender in the back four, despite his midweek effort. Let's go and get through to the Stoke game though. If you have a look at the table at the minute, we've dropped to 11th. Stoke are still 6 points behind us, or 9 points, sorry, having lost in midweek. But we are just looking over our shoulder slightly. Hopefully the bottom three can keep dropping points. Let's go and see our team for today. It's not going to be the same 11, I don't think. Simon Davis is struggling just a touch. Danny Murphy's played poorly 2 games in a row. So I'm going to bring in Vieira for Danny Murphy. I'm going to keep Davis in, I think, because he's got a superb morale. And we've got a week off after this one. So Zoltan Gera comes in. He's done okay in some of the recent matches. The rest of it, I think, will stay exactly the same. Because it is our strongest team on paper. Andy Johnson, for some reason, not a happy man at the minute. Probably because he can't hit a barn door. Let's go and get into this one and see if we can avoid defeat at the second attempt. Well, 4-4-2 for this classic Stoke side. The Rory Delap long throw. The likes of Sorensen, Shaw, Cross. I mean, Kitts and Wilkinson. They've got all the height in the team. They've got all the powerhouses in. Ricardo Fuller through the middle as well. It's going to be hard work, this. Let's go away from home and see how we do. Hopefully, we can keep them at bay. We're going to tell the lads that they can win the match. We're trying to keep spirits up. We're just hoping that performances come along every so often. The likes of James Beattie, who's returning from injury on the bench. Probably a good thing for us he isn't fully fit. So let's just get into the first half and hope that we can get the result our performance deserves today, which hopefully won't be nothing. Just out of long throw territory there as Griffin throws in from the left. Fuller on the shot. Hits the post. Not a pleasant start again here. I mean, to be fair, against Sunderland, we actually played pretty well, but this away from home is potentially a worry. I'll take the 0-0 we got at West Brom, to be honest. With 5 gone, they've had the first chance, though. Well, corner kick for Stoke. We know they're going to be a set-piece threat as Lawrence delivers towards the lap. Out to the edge of the box to Jiao. And his shot's well over the bar. We are yet to have a shot at all. And Stoke, 61% possession under Tony Pulis. I should probably be a little embarrassed about that. It has gone quiet now as we approach the half-an-hour mark. And we finally got a highlight going forward as Zoltan Gera plays short to Sissoko. Big ball over towards Simon Davis, who should have the pace advantage. Gets injured, putting the cross in, which Shawcross heads away. He's such a walking injury. I hope it's not bad because I really want Everton to buy him. Just because he's so unfit so often. But he's coming off now. And it happened in the August window as well, didn't it? He got injured on the first day and was out the rest of the month. I'm going to regret playing him. Let's bring Dempsey on the right-hand side. Gera's not having the best game. I was tempted to bring Murphy on. I'm going to go with Dempsey for now. Try and keep that little bit of mobility in the team. Maybe take advantage there. As we are getting back in terms of possession, we've still not had a shot after 41 minutes. As Shawcross wins the ball for Delap and Jiao. Out to Fuller on the right. And now Lawrence. Space to run into. Konchesky gets there. Does really well. Then gives the ball away. Sissoko gets it back out to him. Does well to recover. Into Zoltan Gera and Decor. Very heavy touch. Pugh might nick in. Decor does well to recover as well. Finds Pansil. We're not really going anywhere though. We're just about hanging on to possession with a few poor passes, but we're not doing much with it. As Hughes has it at the back. Big ball over. That's what we waited for. Andy Johnson trying to get in behind, but his touch is poor. And in the end, he's going to have to beat someone. Shots harmlessly over. He had the chance there, but his first touch sent him backwards. Really not good enough from him. He's playing so poorly at the moment. We're approaching half-time. Decor surely will get booked this time. And now we've got to think about changes from that point of view, because we don't want to go down to 10 in a game like this. As Zhao plays short to Shawcross. Last chance of the half. It's out to Pugh on the left-hand side. Takes on Pansil and beats him. Good cross which Konchesky heads away. If only he had done that against Sunderland. Now Lawrence with the shot from miles out. Good save, Schwartz. So comfortable enough. But Stoke still the aggressors here. Just need to hang on. We need to pick up points. Really struggling to find a tactic that works against anyone in the bottom half. But it does look like we're going to reach the midway point at 0-0. And that's not too bad on the balance of play. Though I say that, we're back in the second minute of stoppage time and we've let it bounce from a goal kick. Kitson's got a chance 30 yards out to Pugh. I'm going to get punished for saying it'll be 0-0 at the break, aren't I? Pugh delivers Konchesky up there. Not convincing again. And Kitson hits the post. It's the second time that Stoke City have hit the woodwork in this half. Andy Johnson's had a stinker up front again. And Zoltan Gira has struggled from the start. But can I take him off given the situation Decor's in? I think I'm going to have to anyway. I'm going to say we can win this game. I'm going to get Murphy on for Gira. I'm even tempted to chuck a Tuhu on and maybe go to a slightly more solid shape. I think I am going to do that and not let him have the forward runs. Just go literally as you would if we had Decor in there. I think that's the plan for him. I'm going to do the same with this one. Dixon, Tuhu and Decor. It's not the most expansive midfield, but we're under pressure here and we've just got to get results. Well, a quiet start to the second half, but we return deep in our own territory with Pansil, who's given it away to Dave Kitson in his own area. Out towards Fuller, Hangeland does well. I mean, the defence is just championship level. If we could get 4 defenders of Hangeland's class by next year, we might be all right. As we approach the hour mark, that 5.5 million for Konchesky is looking more and more appealing as Decor gets it to Dixon Atuhu. You don't want to be a hero, do you? He's got support with him. Can he find a pass? No, he shoots. Why? You've got the pass wide. Look up and use your brain. There isn't a lot of brain in this football team. The core struggling physically. Murphy's not really the candidate to come on. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for height in this game. He's not done much recently. I'm going to get Bobby Zamora on. And I'm going to try and play into his feet, I think. Because, look, we're not getting any success in behind. You're not going to get much space in behind against Stoke. We're not going to beat them in the air. So let's get the extra defensive body on from set pieces. And let's try and get a bit of height to hold it up front. Because at least he'll have a chance physically. Salif Jow picks up a yellow card for Stoke. We've got 20 to go with our changes made. We've played all of our cards now. And James Beattie is on for Stoke. Not fit, but he's got the guile. Finds Danny Pugh. Good save from the goalkeeper. Schwartz is having a good one here. And with 70 minutes gone, we've not had a shot on target. It's a bit embarrassing. As Lawrence has got the corner kick, can we avoid the biggest threat of Stokes? Konchesky up against Fuller, does well enough and gets it clear. Now Albin can chase. This is what we want. Knocked down from him, but Zamora picks it up and he's offside. Bobby! You are so useless in this game. 20 minutes to go. Stoke making subs. Dickinson on for Fuller. They must be going defensive. Now Kandran Albin produced a moment of magic from a free kick from 25 yards. We've not offered much all game. But that's what you need in these situations. Inspiration. Dran Albin is the best player going forward at the club. We signed him because he was a class above. And he's delivered a free kick that might just save our bacon. And these are the results we need as Konchesky throws in for Zamora. And now we've gone one up. They're going to have to chase the game. And we should get space in behind as Zamora tries to exploit it. Back to Clint Dempsey. Deflects to Dixon Atuhu, whose shot goes over the bar. Not a great effort from him. I'd rather he wasn't shooting continuously. With 5 to go, they've gone back to 4-4-2. They're pushing the fullbacks on. And Glenn Whelan's on and beating us in midfield there. Though Albin gets it back from a poor pass. Finds Bobby Zamora, who in fairness is now starting to make an impact. I might owe him an apology. As Decor gets it into Sissoko. Up to Zamora, who holds up well. Finds Dixon Atuhu. And Sissoko. This is more professional. Konchesky to Albin. Does he want to take on Wilkinson? Doesn't. Play short to Zamora. Looks back out to him. You might as well have a go. You're not going to lose out to pace. As Zamora slid in by Atuhu. Great ball. Great goal. And this is what happens when you get ahead in a game. You can then take advantage on the break. It's exactly the same as the Sunderland game, in that the home team have been the better side. They've not taken their chances, and the away team have nicked one, and then just taken advantage of having a team coming at them. A 2-0 victory. Bobby Zamora's made a difference. And Juan Albin has been the star of the show. Good ball from Atuhu there as well. We're into stoppage time. We're going to get the win. And at the start, we'd have taken 3 points. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. 3 minutes added on. Yellow cards getting picked up by everyone. Now we've got a corner with Albin. Can we put some gloss on the goal difference? Olivier Dacour's up. Wilkinson fouls him. Penalty kick. And Bobby Zamora is the best penalty taker on there because there's no Danny Murphy. And then there's no Andy Johnson. So what is Bobby Zamora going to offer us? He couldn't make it 3-0 with a brace, could he? I mean, he's putting himself in a shop window. It's a good time for it. Bobby Zamora, left-footed. Beats Thomas Sorensen. 3-0 to Fulham. If ever a scoreline flattered you, it's this one. Yes, we were unfortunate not to get a draw against Sunderland. We'll absolutely take it if we can win 3-0 on the road. What a result this is. Have we scored 3 in a game this season? I'm not sure if we have, you know. Not in a win in the league, I'm sure of it. A brilliant result. A massive 3 points. And surely, again, just a sign that we're going to do enough this year. Boring mid-table quality. But Bobby Zamora is the hero this time. After I slated him as well, we'll pretend that didn't happen. He ends his goal drought. Simon Davis out for the month. So that's his transfer money gone. We've just got to remember, in the summer, sell him. Get the money. A fantastic cameo from him. Brilliant effort. Atuhu did well as well. And we are now on to 29 points and back up to 10th in the Premier League. A long way clear of the relegation zone. A long way away from the top 8. It's going to be mid-table mediocrity. But that's what we said we'd achieve this year. So I'm absolutely delighted that we're on course for it. A really good result. A really good performance. Hopefully more of that to come. Let's have a look at the fixtures for when we're next going to be back. I'm tempted to show you like United, but I don't think there's any point in doing so. Maybe we'll do Tottenham and Everton, or if there's a big 5th round FA Cup tie, that and Spurs, because we had a good game against Spurs last time. We'll be able to reflect on any January transfer news as well. Maybe it'll be United and deadline day if some big offers come in. But I feel like we've lost on one of our biggest outs there because the potential sale of Simon Davis will now not be occurring due to injury. If you did enjoy this one though, our first summer signing pre-agreed and a huge win against Stoke City and confirmation that yes, bar Carlisle in the League Cup, the first time we've scored 3 all year. And please do put a thumbs up on the video. Am I being harsh on Bobby Zamora? Do I need to play into feet even with Andy Johnson? Let me know what you think about those things down in the comments below. But for now, I'll see you back after the January window, as hopefully there'll have been a little bit of movement when it comes to some of our average squad players. I'll see you next time to find out if there has been.